You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
Special K coming at ya.
Special K is
I
here.
told y'all we're going to have a special guest, and I'm very excited. So, by the way, just before we hit record, we hit record a few times before this because we did some bits, and you'll be hearing them. In fact, you're going to hear a new bit at the end of the show.
That also means we've already been drinking.
Oh, yeah. No, we pregame.
We have already been drinking, friends.
Yeah, so
Yes.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
So, but let me start with, so hi, Miss K. Was special?
Yes, yes,
special.
How are you?
She's the specialist, Miss Kate.
So great.
You're enjoying the summer?
Yeah.
You have the whole summer off?
Yeah. Not until late August.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, it's good.
Lots of baby time.
I was hoping.
Baby
Lots of baby time.
I was
Wow,
up
that
toddler
little
time.
toddler.
Toddler
I
time.
Love that little
I got like 2 or 3 more days. I'm back on Wednesday.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you were really looking forward to doing stuff.
Well, next summer I definitely will be. I'll put air quotes on off, but I'll be running for office, so I'm not going to be off. But I'm off.
But you're not going to be doing that work.
Yes, but I won't be doing that. So speaking of that work,
Uh-oh.
so you can chime in if you want. I just want a quick little public service announcement kind of thing. So I thought about talking about this over the past few months, and I was like, it's not that important. But they're really hounding me, so I'm going to go point this out. This might not even apply to you. I don't want to give too much information out.
Okay.
I keep getting things from the Freedom Foundation. Now, it's been my experience that...
Isn't that that's a right wing thing,
Right?
isn't it?
Okay, see, when you see the word freedom in it, doesn't it always have a bell
Yeah.
go off in your head? Right.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but that
Super
name
conservative.
specifically I thought it was a right wing thing.
Well, it relatively is.
Okay.
So in this case, the Freedom Foundation, and I'm always bad with numbers. Like you just that memory that popped up that was 15 years ago about a podcast. We didn't have Eric with us.
So 15 years ago.
So I'm bad at timelines.
It's
Like
like 15
how long
years
ago
ago,
it was?
we were podcasting. So this has been
That's
going on
amazing.
longer
So
than 15 years.
I don't remember exactly how many years ago, but when that Supreme Court decision or whatever that came through that allowed the right to work, what they call, and it sounds like a cool thing. Yeah, I have the right to work, but
No,
really
it
was
sucks big time.
Yeah, it's the right to like have big moneyed right wing organizations come and fuck with unions, and
Basically, it means they can fire you for any reason.
Right.
And you don't really and I mean, if you want to fight it, you can try, but it's really
Right.
hard to fight.
So when that happened, all of these crazy groups just went nuts trying to go after people who are in unions. So now I have, for the last year or so, I've been getting stuff from the Freedom Foundation trying to convince me to opt out of my union as a teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's for.
Oh,
Yes.
so then it is
Specifically.
not tied necessarily to the conservative Republican Party.
It is.
Oh no, it's totally it's
It is.
Republican/libertarian something.
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
No,
Sorry.
it's not.
Sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
But
yes,
it's-
yes.
but it's
They're
definitely
anti-union.
Yep, I apologize.
it's
Yep.
it's definitely someone who just like wants to get rid of
I
unions
follow
and
you,
that
yeah.
sort of thing. So it's definitely not a pro worker. So, but it's very red, white, and blue. Declare your independence from union dues.
Wow.
My God, I hate that so much.
Yeah, so they've been sending me stuff and I just been throwing it in the recycling. So I've decided now the fact that there's a card with it, I am going to, because it goes back to,
Fuck with them.
Oh, yes, please say your
no, I'm just going to
Say you're
send
gonna
it
fuck with
back.
it. Do it.
No, I'm going to send it back because it's postage paid and
Yeah,
they'll have
get
to
some
pay.
info.
Oh, yeah, perfectly.
No, I'm not going to. They're going to keep sending me shit, but I'm just going to do. So if you're out there and you get anything from the Freedom Foundation, they want you to basically get out of a union. And look,
I'm not in one, so nobody's asked me yet.
I'm not even going to start
No
naming
one is.
names, but there are unions. There's
But you
like
are.
everything No, she's
No, you're
not.
not?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay. I thought
There,
you were.
look, there's good and bad of everything. There's good and bad doctors. There's good and bad lawyers. There's good and bad teachers. There's good and bad unions.
Correct.
Right? And I've been in like the union. The local I'm in right now is very weak, and they negotiated a contract. Oh, you'll love this one, where your plan period as a teacher is that required time you have to stay after school. I literally had no plan period the whole year last year.
See, that sort of seems counterproductive to
Right. Well,
you
there's
know what I'm
counterproductive
saying?
and
Like-
do what you got to do kind of
like
thing. So, yeah. So, my union, the one I'm in right now, is relatively weak. But without it, Lord knows what they would do. to me.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would have to teach
Yeah.
all day with a full pack on or
Right,
something.
right.
Right. Yeah.
I have a friend who's in he works at Tops, and he's in the union for Tops.
Yes. Tops Supermarkets does have a union.
Does have a union, which I think is awesome.
Yes.
And he has complained to me on the Facebook about the union, and basically my thought is, I hear you. I know that sometimes unions, you know, there's issues with unions, but at least you have one. I go, you still have something.
Stay on the mic.
You can. I'm sorry. Man,
I didn't mean to
that was
hit
a
you in the
little
face,
bit.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's aggressive.
yeah, it was.
I didn't mean
that
to.
was aggressive.
I've been drinking a little.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
Okay. Good times.
Yeah, so yeah, he was. I said, at least you have one, and you can at least you can. You're in the union. You can fight. You can say what you have to, what you feel about it. Talk with your other people. I'm like,
And-
at least you have one. It's better than not.
And being in a union doesn't mean like your job is done. I mean, there's roles you can play within that, and if your union leaders are not doing what they're supposed to, there was a union I was in, a teachers thing, and some of
More than
y'all
one teachers union.
no,
Well, you have the New York State union,
even bigger,
right? Well, and
you
then
have-
beyond.
You
but
have
like
two.
for here,
You
go
have
ahead.
two.
So
you
in New
have,
York
you
State,
have
we have a-
AFT,
Yes.
and then you have I'm blanking on the other one.
Is AFT, is that American Federation?
Yeah, Federation of Teachers,
Teachers?
and then there's another one and I'm blanking. But anyway, there's two of them, and then statewide there's NYSUT, the New York
That's
State.
what I was thinking. Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
nice.
yes. So I was
Okay.
thinking like here in New York State, there's
And then here in New York State, and then,
and then
do you
there are
belong to
different
all of
branches.
them?
Yeah.
well, if you belong to one, the local, then you belong to
Feeds to your
NYSUT, and then
NYSUT.
you
Yeah.
belong
Okay.
to because I
Look at
get
me learning
newsletters from
shit
all of them.
today. I had no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never belonged to a union.
So
Didn't know.
you can run for office within your union.
Mm-hmm.
So if your union's not being aggressive enough, now I would not do that where I am right now because I don't have tenure, which is another weird thing that teachers have.
I know, it's so weird.
They have they have unions generally, and then there's tenure, but unions won't do jack shit for you if you don't have tenure.
I wonder
It's
if people,
really
I wonder if
interesting.
everybody did.
Yeah.
What is tenure? I mean, what is tenure? Like what? I mean, I know what it is, kind of, but like, if you have it, if you're there a long enough time, and they say we dig you, then you get to stay here for a long time. I don't know. It
Tenure
seems-
doesn't mean they can't fire you.
Right.
Okay.
It just means there's more of a process to fire you.
Right. And you have to really fuck up.
Yeah.
Like do illegal shit.
do something
Yeah.
illegal, like
Right.
light up a joint in class.
So
or
like
something.
you have like once you're a tenured teacher, it's a big deal because if you're in a district or what have you, you don't have to get observed as much per se, and you feel this like you feel like there's not like an eye looking at you like what are you doing?
What are you doing? Are
What
you
doing?
teaching? Do we like what you're doing? Yeah, that would. I could see definite
and-
positives on that one for sure.
Yeah, and also though, I've had the opportunity to teach in different kinds of schools, so public, charter, and I belonged to a union before. I don't belong to a union now. My dad does not work in education, but he belongs to a union, and he has had a lot of great benefits, and he has a lot of great things to say about it. My personal experience was I feel where I am currently in a charter position, in a charter school, my own, like, it's just our own charter, independent, not independent, it's public, but it's not part of a network. I feel like I get a lot of support, a lot of feedback, a lot of professional development. And so I can honor when people feel like unions really serve them. And I honor that and I see that. And in my experience, understanding that entering a school that already had an established union, entering a district with an established union, getting that contract, them negotiating. I mean, it took a long time. There have been times where, the contract was in limbo. There are some schools that have worked technically without a contract because the union is still negotiating that, right? So I'm not saying that's not a good thing. I'm just saying my personal experiences when I was in the school that I was in, when I was in that district, it just I kind of did my thing, but I can honor and respect that people have really been impacted beautifully by it. And I had some friends that didn't feel like they were supported when they were in a union. And now I'm not in a union and I don't necessarily feel like I need one. But I also recognize that's a privilege to be in a place where I don't feel that way, right? So I think this is always an interesting...
You don't have to be in the union?
Where I am now, there is... Let me say that again.
Okay.
Where I was, you were in the union. You got a job. You paid your dues.
Okay.
I don't know if it's an option. You might know better than I. But
Well, that's where
it was not an option.
That Supreme Court thing.
And if it was an option, it was no, it's not really an option.
Now you can opt out.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that I would, if I rejoined a district where there was a union, personally, and it's okay if people disagree, I don't know that I would opt out of a union because I feel like I'm here and you're working for me. So what can I do to be in partnership with you personally? But where I am now, there is just not one. And I feel like I have a lot of great things.
So
now, there are other places that absolutely
You would
need
be
that.
in a, if you were in some places, you would go, oh no,
listen,
I'm going to be in the
I
union.
feel like I'm cool with whatever works for the person.
The union,
I gotcha.
the district you were in, and me too, I was in there, and we may have said this on the show, I can't remember, but their union president has been there for over 40 years.
Yeah. I think
See,
I'm pretty sure we've
that's a
talked
problem,
about this
right?
before, yeah.
And
In
that's
my
been the problem,
opinion,
yes.
that's a problem.
It is a problem.
Union,
No
and their
question
union
that's a
is
problem.
not as radical as it should be. Look, unionism is a relatively, unfortunately, it shouldn't be, but it is a radical thing.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing it right. And
I wouldn't want somebody who's been there for 40 years
doing
it.
anything.
No.
I wouldn't want them head of the PTA. I wouldn't want them doing
I don't want
anything.
anybody.
I don't want them in
I
our
don't want anybody
Congress.
head of
Can I say
anything
that?
for 40 years?
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
want anyone being anywhere
in charge of shit for 40 years.
You just have to. You have to have fresh people. Like
That
no
dude-
amount of PD, no amount of workshops,
Right.
no amount of development is going to.
So
It's not going to do everything.
You have to have a balance, in my opinion.
I'm relatively older, and that dude was the head of the union when I was a student in the district.
That's fucked up.
Right.
That's fucked up.
Yes. Me and GLB. We were in the district, and he was the head of the teachers union. I mean, he was just the head of the teachers.
And so,
Right,
like,
but
what are
still,
you
that's
doing?
not even
Right?
true.
Like, what? I think. I think in general when we talk about
we can talk about that
education,
off mic. I know where you're going. We can talk
Okay.
about that off mic.
I think in general when we talk about education, I think that it's really convenient to talk about all of these things that are. I just think in general, the governing bodies like that we have these like opposing views when in reality, if all stakeholders came together and they were like, what is best for our kids? What can we do?
I still think there'd be plenty of people that'll argue it, though.
Okay, but
I do.
the last time we were here, when we were talking about reading, that's right. What's best for kids?
What is best for our children?
right?
Now, I'm not saying teachers get worked to the bone for the benefit of the children. This whole like remember your why, I do it for the outcome, not the income is absolute bullshit.
That's
fuck
bullshit.
that.
Because teachers have
Bullshit.
exceptional education, professional development, and things that we have to do and continue to do. And I'm not saying I just like
And to be a
we've
great
lost
teacher,
sight.
you have to continue
just
to
think-
evolve as well.
Yeah,
So
but
like,
we've
there's
lost
all these
sight
learning
in
and
a
stuff you
lot
gotta
of
do.
things.
Okay, but I'll even widen that. Like
What's that?
for the whatever teachers as one, bow down, whatever. Thank you for your service, all that jazz. Okay, that's awesome. But I think even the burger flippers should have enough money to be able to live.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, no.
Everybody should be able to
No,
make.
no. So yeah, so I'm
enough
not
to
separating
live.
that from anything
No,
else.
no,
It's
no,
anything
no,
that's all that
no.
noble.
And that's what I'm saying is that.
It's like you were reading my mind. So you ready for me to
Oh,
go
okay.
into where I was going?
Oh, yeah,
This is the
okay.
reason I wanted you to come in today.
Oh,
and
jeepers.
no, stop. What are we doing? You were just Tracy Mellons, dude. What do you?
I
How
was.
bad do you think this is gonna be?
Look out.
Yep. So, an interesting thing I've been dealing with for the past few years, and maybe because your school is, I didn't realize it was K through 6. For some reason, I thought it was K through 8. Okay. So I might not be as bad at where you are, but I'm just wondering if you're dealing with this at all. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's anything that can be done in a school about it. Students who are this unfettered, and I can't believe I'm saying this because it almost sounds like I'm being anti-free speech, but I'm not. I just don't know what to do. Students who are in their own time, actually not even on their own time, in school, unfortunately, watching things like Family Guy, Simpsons, South Park, things like that, and then coming into school and, quote, I'll put air quotes on, making jokes like that are really inappropriate and divisive and bullying, and they have I saw it on TV. And it's not even like they have to go look for this shit. It's fucking everywhere. It's on, as long as their parents have cable or a dish or any kind of streaming thing.
Anything, which
is
pretty much everybody.
You can get on your phone and they're like, they're literally watching it in class on their
Yeah, you
phones,
can
which
watch it
is
on phone.
kind of a hybrid Venn diagram thing we can talk about. But I'm just, what role can parents actually do anything about this? And I'm just so, like, when a kid's making fag jokes or Jew jokes or all this shit because they saw it on South Park.
And like they don't get like there's like a whole like
It's like out of context
And
when
I
they
don't-
do
and
it
I'm
because they don't
shitty,
understand
like,
it.
And I look at the bits that we just did
Right,
that I'm doing
right.
that I know what
Right.
you can use humor to take the piss out of something.
Right.
Right.
But I got these
But they don't get
12,
it, though.
13-year-olds who are like insulting each other with this, not realizing, like, there could be a kid in my class who, and I know there are, I'm not mentioning any names, you know who you are. You should be listening to this. Who are like questioning their sexuality, and I got kids making fag jokes because there's something on South Park, and I can't stop it, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm so frustrated by this, and I keep sending notes. Where I'm at right now is a little weird. There's not a specific procedure that says teachers don't call parents, but it's kind of a de facto. The counselors do it. So it's kind of
so you have to like
Wow.
tell the counselor what's going
so
on.
it's,
and
it's
they-
kind of a
Wow.
no, I could, and no one would get mad, but it's kind of the culture. It's like, which I understand. There's good and bad to that. That way, parents aren't getting crushed with stuff because I could be texting parents like fucking.
Yeah,
And maybe
every
it's
day.
different with different grades. I understand.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different.
So I'm
But-
so there's good and bad to that. But anyway, my point is, I don't know what to do. And you're a parent. You get your kid's going to be coming up. I know. I'm sorry. I'm putting you in a spot. But do you have a plan? What are you going to do? Sorry. I'm sorry. I know this is horrible.
You just have to. I mean, I can tell you what I did. What we did with Alex.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alex. I mean, Alex has grown up around. Well, we'll just start with the fact that his mother is bisexual, and he's grown up around queer people pretty much his entire life because we have tons of friends that are. So that helped. I will say that I talked to him very young about how we don't make fun of people because they seem like they're gay or something like that. And he understood very young, like, yeah, that's not appropriate and that's not okay. Yes, I was fortunate enough to have that we have the kind of, bubble of friends that we have, that he was able to grow up around plenty of people who were queer, and he was able to, be experienced around it. But That doesn't mean that other kids around him weren't acting like really horrible and saying really bad things and stuff. And all I said to him, as I said, look, I know that your friends are going to say some really horrible things. I'm not telling you that you have to stick up for every single person. I go, because one of the people that they were making fun of was really annoying to him. Like my son actually thought like this kid might be gay. He like thought it himself back then. This was in elementary school. He even thought the kid was probably gay, and he's like, oh, but he's really annoying. I go, I understand you think he's annoying. I go, and I know other kids are going to make fun of him. All I'm asking is just don't be a part of it. Just don't be a part of it. You know, and it was like the minimal I could ask, because the kids, because if he stuck up for this other person, then, what was going to happen is he was going to get picked on. And, should he have stuck up for him? Maybe, but he didn't like him either. Right. And that to me is just saying, like, it doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight or bi or whatever you are, you just might be really fucking annoying.
When I was active in the disability community early on, one of the things that struck me really quick that I actually had to kind of sit up and go, oh shit, because especially when you don't have a basis in it and nobody teaches you, it's like you're taught and you see like on TV and in movies and stuff, you feel bad for people with disabilities, and it's that pity thing. Right. But then when I started,
which is very similar to being like a white savior.
Yeah. So, but when I got involved, when I not even planned, but when I got involved in the disability community, it was like people with disabilities going, look, you could have a disability and still be an asshole.
Right. Exactly.
And but that concept never, and I kind of like I didn't say anything, or I didn't do anything, but my brain kind of went, whoa.
Yeah. Sure.
You could be in a wheelchair and be a dick.
Sure.
You can.
People are people.
Yeah. You could be Caitlyn Jenner and be transgender and be a total fucking bitch.
When you grow up,
stand
it's like growing up as, again, and I've said this a million times, having all the privileges, and you grow up with like the fucking Jerry Lewis telethon.
Right.
Oh, look at poor Billy in the wheelchair, and that's what you think. Oh, poor Billy, and then find out Billy's a total cocksucker.
Like, he says he's racist.
Yeah,
he says,
right.
Yeah,
I know.
Right.
It's like, oh, fuck you, Billy. Fuck you. But you're not supposed to say that, which is kind of like
fuck you, the person, not you with the disability.
Like in something about Mary, the guy in the wheelchair. Right. With those, there's so many places where you go, okay, they're making fun of something, but you're like, oh God. I try as much as I want to use that sentence, that line from that, you just can't, because I work with our words.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
And because it's such a good line.
I mean, it's funny, but in the context,
on the purpose, right? So if I use that, you can't.
No,
you want to, even when it fits.
Right.
No, but even when it's a funny thing in your,
and it'd be okay, but it's like it doesn't feel weird. It feels weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
to me, it's no different than saying the N word. The R word and the N word both feel very, very uncomfortable.
And how much I used the R word back in the day. Because I just didn't know.
We didn't know any better. Sure. Yeah, I didn't use the N word really, but I did the R word and
all right. So I'm sorry, even though
I don't know where
I love you
going.
And I'm not letting you get out of this. What do you think?
I have so many strong feelings.
I know
about children and devices.
But I mean,
so here
you can't keep them away from it.
Here we go. Right. Here's my thought. Right, I'm gonna just back it up a little bit. I know you asked me like what to do as a teacher, but I'm going to also back it up.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Right?
You do whatever, however you want to go with it.
Would you send your 7-year-old into, a porn shop and say, go ahead, walk around? Would you send your 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old into a late night bar? And let them roam around and see what they see, right? No, you would not.
Well, I did do.
No, that's different. I say that because
it's different. Oh, because Jerry.
I say that. I say that because when we give our young people devices, they have access to things that are so beyond their scope of understanding because your brain development, right? That logical part of your brain doesn't develop until your early 20s.
Yep.
And yet we're giving young people, first graders, phones to watch YouTube videos on the bus
Are
ride.
people really doing that?
Yes.
See,
And
I knew
here's
you
the-
would know that.
Here's
I
the
had
thing.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but
Okay,
So-
so the only difference
Quick yes or no?
between a 7-year-old who has a device and a 12-year-old who has a device is the fact that the 12-year-old has 5 more years of experience with inappropriate content. Not to mention, there are predators out there who are putting content on. It
Like on
enrages
YouTube?
me. It
Like anywhere?
enrages me
like where?
everywhere. Facebook,
Well,
Instagram,
Facebook, yeah,
DMing, Snapchatting, fucking virtual reality. You can just go to your library, get virtual reality, put your first grader in fucking virtual reality. It doesn't matter that it's a youth game. All fucking
I don't even know. What
Jerry
that is.
Jerkoff in Minnesota, no offense to Minnesotians, who's 40 years old and a fucking child predator, can say he's 7 and joining virtual reality. This is how children are groomed. And here's another thing. By making all of this just around them, you're desensitizing them. And the rate of child sexual abuse is increasing child to child. Not because children are sexual, but because they're curious, but they're doing things that are really not appropriate. So you bring this up, and this is like a topic that I feel so strongly about. We just need to do a better job at protecting, keeping our children safe, and and I think you brought up a great point. When we also live in an area where our children are just around people who are a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Mm-hmm. We're just around people of different races.
Yeah, like we're
It
just in our neighborhood. Yeah.
happens. So that is just happening. Mm-hmm. But I think when children outside of, oh boy, you're doing work over there. Am I in trouble? Uh-oh.
You're fine.
When you,
Just something I gotta take care of.
I feel like I'm in trouble. When you, when you leave this area, I get that you might not be, it might not be part of your vernacular.
You're not exposed.
And so, rather than creating a space where children can ask those questions and parents are educated to respond to them in a way that educates rather than shame, right? Because I think a lot of times when people are bullying or they're being nasty to other people, it's because they don't understand or it's something seen in their community as being not good. I mean, I just think it's a snowball. Okay, I'm going to calm down.
No. So, well, first, so before we go on, I just want to just a quick apology to Jerry Jerkoff out of La Crosse, Minnesota. I just want to make
I didn't say La Crosse, Minnesota.
No, I did. I just looked at the top.
Oh, no.
Just in case
Sorry.
Jerry Jerkoff somewhere.
I am
just
so
wanna make sure
sorry.
You might be
Sorry,
a
Jerry.
nice guy.
I just really like.
I hope you're a good guy.
Well, okay, we named this room Dickoff Studio, so
So.
it's an actual name.
It is.
I really like alliteration.
Dickoffs are
Yeah.
an actual people.
I know.
They have a ranch.
I like
Just in case
alliteration,
you're
too.
Jerry Jerkoff, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Jerry, you've got a tough life already.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to get.
I don't mean to call you out. I'm sure you're cool.
Sorry, Jerry.
I'm sure you're a great guy.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Sure
Yeah. Jerk.
This is why I'm only a guest. This is why I'm only a guest.
No, I'm just no. Oh, you're fine. I'm just.
Come, and you can come on the show anytime
Hey,
you
Kristen,
want,
I
for
said,
real.
I'm for a joke. I'm just.
We love
fucking around with
jokes.
Jerry
We
Jerkoff.
like jokes. We like jokes.
In fact, the show name is going to be Jerry Jerkoff.
Oh,
Jerry
love
Jerkoff.
it.
Jerry's going to in lacrosse going, what?
What? Who? Huh? Hashtag.
By the way, I don't know if there's Jerry. I just looked up towns in Minnesota and I saw lacrosse. So I went with it.
Okay.
That's
Anyway.
good.
So, just a yes or no kind of thing, because I am very hyper aware of. I also turned my mic off. Jesus, sorry, because I was looking up stuff. So,
Oh no.
I got it in there. I'll fix it in post. So you.
We were apologizing. He was.
No, your
apologizing.
mics are on.
Okay.
No, I was making fun of Jerry Jerkoff. Do you see that kind of issue where you are in a K through 6?
Yeah.
I kind of assumed.
Yes.
It's driving me nuts.
It is a problem.
It is.
It is a problem because
And parents don't seem
it's
to
also
see it as a
very
problem.
normalized. It's very
is.
normalized that we right. And you brought up a great point. We do these bits, right? But we're literal grown-ups, right? Our brains are fully developed, right? We give these things
Well, we get there's a
developed
joke.
enough, right?
Yeah, we get
that
there's
it's
like
joke.
we get that there's a
We
joke. We
have
get the
experience, wisdom, and the brain development. Our prefrontal cortex is like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
It's not a problem.
But I would say this by the same. So by the same point, I will fix that in post.
Yeah, you said you did
I
that
did,
before.
but by the same token, we have parents who the bits that we did today that like we're making fun of, but pointing out about how advertisers brainwash us as adults with our
Yes.
prefrontal cortex.
Right.
So even the parents themselves, who you try to talk to them, and they're on their phones,
100%.
right? And I'm
It's
like,
such
fuck,
a bigger
they don't
issue.
even get it because
Yeah.
they're fucking on their
It's
phones
such
doing
a
shit.
big issue. It's
And I
a
don't-
huge issue.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't know what to do about it.
And I think,
And I wasn't asking you if you had the magic solution here.
No. We're
I'm just here
having
to
a
bitch.
We're
And,
having
We're having a
parents and
conversation.
teachers
Yeah.
chatting about the things.
And, you
we're
know,
all parents. Two
again-
of you are teachers.
we have to like remember that this really is like, if you were in your 40s, you had a home computer that you had dial up, right? That you had to like dial up into when you were a little older, middle school, high school, and you had to like dial up, and like that was new to you. Parents
Also,
who are in
yeah.
their 20s and 30s, parents who are in their 20s,
they've just always had.
that's all they've had.
Yeah.
And so that's also an interesting variable. But I think in general,
that is
it's just the
interesting.
Wild West, right?
Yeah,
It's just phones.
yeah.
I mean, even if you go to dinner, right? I just think, I mean, I have very strong opinions about it. And I'm trying to be like respectful of people who don't agree with me. If you think about going out to dinner, right? And you have people next to you at the next table, and you have two grown adults, and they're both on their phones. Why are you on your phones when you're out to dinner? That's my
That's so
viewpoint.
bizarre to me. Yeah, that's
But it
bizarre
might
to me.
not be bizarre to younger parents. It might just be how they were raised. It might just be like, well, we have this device and now we're on it all the time. And if if parents aren't saying like, hey, remember we're at the table. I have people come to my house and they know we don't use our phones at the table. Full
Oh,
stop.
yeah, we don't do that at my house either. That is a definite no-no.
But that's not everywhere.
You don't do that. How do you? I don't know. We don't have that at the table.
And I'm not shaming any parent. I'm not parent shaming.
I
That's like
know.
another big thing that's
I know,
around
it's
everywhere.
tough. I mean, I don't want to parent shame either because I'm not a perfect parent.
Nobody is.
I'm still a parent and I'm still sucking at it sometimes. I
We
try,
all
but
do.
sometimes I'm still sucking.
We all know.
But yeah, we didn't have, that was like, well, one, I didn't give Alex a phone until he was in high school. And
Right.
two, yeah, there was no phones at the table. And then like, I mean, I don't go out very often out to dinner, but
Sure.
most of the time when I do, it's either with a good friend or my mom or my husband. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to sit on my phone.
Right.
I'm actually
I'm
with
with you.
somebody.
I want to be with you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm here with somebody I want to hang out with. I don't want to be on my fucking phone.
But then aren't we hitting the bigger issue of what do we value as a person as a nation, as a community, right? Like we know that our sense of belonging, everybody has a need for a sense of belonging, right? And so
Circle of courage.
we're going to
Get started on that.
we're
Look it
going
up.
to
I'll have to look.
right.
I
We're
have no
going
idea
to,
what you're talking
and Brene
about.
Brown talks about
Love her.
that, right? I mean, like
She's great.
we all desire a sense of belonging, and so when we are right, if you're not getting that in your home, because like it's just so many issues, right? It's just like a perfect storm, I think, right? Parents are working really hard and they're doing everything that they can for their children with the tools that they have, and then parents are working really hard, and then they just are expected to work more and more and more, right? We just talked about unions earlier in the show, right? Like, well, you're a teacher, you should be able to just work. It's written in your contract that you just do evening events and you do committees. Like that's in contracts around the nation.
Lesson plan
You
outside
just do
of
that.
your time.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so then we have this like beautiful, magical thing called a device that kids can just be and meet people on. But it's not it. So I think it's like such a bigger issue. And that's why. But I do think it gets back to our core. What is our core value? What do we believe in as people?
I don't think that's even. I don't really think it's changed that much. Actually, I think that a lot of the core values are pretty much the same. I really believe that. I just think that we have these devices that take us away from that sometimes. But I think we all have the same. Like we want to have community. We want to have connection. We want to, get along with our families. We want to have good friends. We would, we'd like to.
And if
a lot of us
would
like to meet,
that,
right? A lot of us want to meet somebody who would complete our lives in a meaningful way. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Everybody wants the
so
same
maybe
fucking
not
things.
the values have changed. It's just how we go about fulfilling them, or maybe we've lost sight of them.
I think we've lost sight of them,
right? Because, yeah.
Except for that weirdo.
Wow, you
Jerry.
started
No,
a
I
whole
heard-
thing.
I'm
But
just
that's
gonna tell
the
you.
main thing. That's what I wanted.
I've talked with people who are my son's age. I mean, I've talked to my son and other people around his age. He's going to be 24 this year, and I know, my son's going to be 24. Can you fucking believe that? Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
That's wild. So yeah, it's weird. Like this dating is not as it was when I was dating. Like it actually isn't, and I'm actually surprised by that. Like, first of all, there's all the online, like the Bumble and all the things that people do.
For sure.
All the things, the Bumble and the
Tinder
grinders
and the
and the
Grinders.
Tinders and the grinders and the
all the things.
right.
And
So they're all
what's
those.
the farmer
And
one?
let me tell you, Snapchat. People just meet on Snapchat.
And Snapchat.
People just
Yeah,
slide
so
into DMs,
I,
baby.
I had an idea. I wrote somewhere
But
on
it's
a
not-
piece of paper about to do a bit about because of that one that had commercials on like every 3 minutes about
we should do that.
the farmer.
I think it was
one.
the farmer one, yeah.
But
the farmer
I-
one was on
but
all
it
the
was so
time.
bizarre. I couldn't think of anything funnier.
Right.
Like, it's already
is
funny.
bizarre.
Right.
It
It's
alone
hilarious.
is
That
bizarre.
happens a lot where I have an idea, when I see something or I hear something, I'm like, okay, that's so. Okay. The one that I can't top that sounds like a Stewart bit. I swear to God, I've written this, but like it's for real. For life insurance, Big Lou. Have you heard these radio commercials?
No, tell me.
Big Lou.
Big Lou. And it's always Big Lou. So are you fat? Are you on all medication? Are you have high blood pressure?
I have a
Big
few
Lou.
of those things, but I don't need to talk to you, Big Lou.
Call Big Lou.
Big Lou's gonna fix it for me.
Big Lou, because he's on meds too.
Oh my word.
That's actually their tagline.
Stop it. I've not heard of that.
Oh my God! So
Is that- okay.
yeah. So do you need life insurance for your third trophy wife because the other two are complaining for you?
Stop it.
Call Big Lou because he likes
You're
trophy wives
kidding.
too. Dude, this is a real radio commercial, and I'm like, I can't even make fun of this.
You can't make it up.
This is
the bit.
This is a bit I would have
The
written.
reality
It's for
is the
real.
bit.
Yes. Call Big Lou because he's on meds too. That sounds like something I wrote. It pissed me off.
Like, how did I miss that one?
Well, it's on. Who listens to radio other than me? I mean,
Yeah, I don't listen to the radio.
Right.
I do.
Well, what kind of radio? I listen to like sports radio is my white noise.
Uh-huh.
So I don't.
That's
I'm
the
not.
only thing. Yeah, so you just listen to sports radio. You don't really listen to any other radio, do you? I mean, other than
occasion.
Stuart Badasso, of course.
Yeah, but you can't listen in your car. I mean, I listen to radio in my car.
You can plug the podcast into your car.
Not in my older. Yeah, I have a relatively older car on purpose. So, no. So, yeah, I'll listen to like sports radio. And the funny thing is, they're talking about sports ball. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can just drive and not get emotional about it because I couldn't care less about sports ball. But the minute these sports guys start talking about anything in society, they're all fucking men, right-wing jerks. And I'm just like, oh, fuck you.
Now I can't listen
I don't
anymore.
need to hear
Delete,
about
turn it off.
what
Next
you
channel,
talk
next
about
channel.
your view about women. No, I don't need to hear
Yeah,
any
I
of
don't
that
need your
shit.
view on women's basketball. Stop
Yeah.
it. I'm going to just hang
They can't get too funky because there is more listeners of that now.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
no, anything that's not
Well,
sports.
I saw somebody today commented on something I posted on Facebook and said, "Oh, the gay men's chorus is about as interesting as women's basketball." I'm like,
Oh, they sound like awesome people.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is Jerry Jerkoff fucking with
I
you?
know, really.
Jerry
I know.
Jerkoff,
And
go home.
I mean, well,
Go back to
okay, I
Minnesota,
don't watch
you bastard.
basketball. It's not that interesting to me. I'm sure women's basketball is pretty cool. I have friends that watch it and they say it's
oh my
great.
gosh,
It's
my
fine.
great grandfather has loved women's college basketball.
Oh, fabulous.
He has watched women's college basketball for
Oh,
as
I
long as
love
I
that.
remember. He
I love
knows
it.
the people. This whole Caitlin Clark thing.
He's
put
like so
him
excited.
right up. Woo!
He's so excited. So
He is.
So
into
I
it.
don't.
He just loves the sport.
Can
and
I
he
say
loves
this?
But I will
I've
say
been-
I've seen the gay men's chorus twice, and they are fucking.
Oh, they're so great. I have a friend who's in it. There's just a couple of friends. They're great.
Yeah, I've
They're
had friends
great.
in and out.
Can
of
I
it,
do
yeah.
a quick sports ball thing?
Yeah.
The Caitlin Clark. It's been in my head thinking about should I bring it to the show. I'm just gonna say this and then we can talk about it more. Or we can move on. I don't care. For anybody who's following Caitlin Clark, she's now a famous women's basketball player who started getting famous in college, playing for Iowa, and now she's in the WNBA.
I guess
And
she's
Beat
pretty good.
records and
yeah.
she's got
and,
great
there,
records
and there's
and
all look. She's good. Whatever whatever you feel about Caitlin Clark. If you say she's not good, fuck you. You're just
lying.
being a dick. So, but all of the quote drama about Caitlin Clark is all press made up. If you ever actually listen
100%.
to her, she doesn't say jack shit.
She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she just wants
She's
to play ball.
focused on her game. That's why
Right.
she's so good.
All these things about they're treating her bad and
No,
the
no.
WNBA hates her because she's white and all that shit. That's all media shit.
No.
Nobody else
Oh, I
gives a
haven't
shit.
heard any of that because I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Literally, she does not give a shit.
She doesn't. She just plays
and that's
ball.
why they push back harder.
Yeah.
Because
Also, if
she
I
does not.
So
I mean,
anything,
even if I
quote,
did read that, I would go, "Are you
controversial,
kidding
but
me?" No.
you never see the thing saying
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark says something funky.
No.
It's
no,
always
no,
they
no,
just
no,
say
no,
Caitlin
no,
Clark, blah blah blah, but they never say Caitlin Clark says because she doesn't give a flying fuck. She just wants to put the ball in the hoop.
Right. She's awesome. It's made more people watch
Whatever.
the sport. There'll be other
Anything
women
about-
that are also going to
anything
kick
about
ass.
race and the other like black players and stuff. That's totally media generated. To the best of my knowledge, she hasn't said shit. She doesn't do anything that has to do with race. That's all just trying to create content.
I hate that.
She just wants to play.
Yeah.
Like,
Just play. And apparently
So
she's really
I'm
good.
not saying
so
that
good
like
for her.
she maybe
Yeah.
who knows, maybe she kicks puppies. I have no idea. She
Hopefully
probably
not.
doesn't.
Probably not.
Probably not. She's too
I'm gonna
busy.
go out there and say no because she's breaking records.
Well, she's busy.
Fill in.
She doesn't have time.
Wait, is she a
Fill in
lesbian?
court.
Because they all have dogs.
She does have a boyfriend.
Oh, she has a boyfriend?
Yeah, dude, that was another thing that was in my stupid news feed that I didn't care about. Caitlin Clark's boyfriend says she likes chicken. I don't know, whatever it was. I was like, who gives a fuck? Whatever.
Everyone likes chicken. Shut up.
Okay, I made that up. I don't know, but I couldn't remember.
But
what
it's
it
something
said.
stupid like that.
Yeah, it was something stupid. But yeah, so she does supposedly have a boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
And you
I
know
bet she
what?
still doesn't kick puppies.
Whether she did or she didn't,
Okay, I use kick puppies.
who the
as a
fuck
thing.
cares?
No.
Well, except
So
for
she has
does
a
kick-
boyfriend or not, other than the kicking puppies. Like,
yeah, no, I made that up.
what the fuck? God, it's like I really like people, but
I'm okay
people.
I'm okay with that, but no, famous people want to know if they, how they live, and I don't, but some people do, and whatever. As long as it doesn't
And
get too
That's the problem, right? That's literally part of the problem. We're so worried about what everybody else is doing instead of taking care of yourself and taking care of other people. But rather it's clickbait.
Has anybody? Okay, this is a rhetorical question. I really don't expect an answer. Has there ever been a female athlete when they sit at the press conference and go something, I really wanted to do well, just on my period. Sorry.
Right?
I've never heard.
I've never heard that. That would be amazing.
No.
I would
But it
love
would be great, though.
Wouldn't it? Like, man, I was trying, just the cramps were kicking my ass.
Well, what's her name? Oh my God, was having in the Olympics. I can't think of her name though. She was supposedly last year was supposed to be doing really great, and then she stopped because she was having mental health issues.
Are you talking about Simone Biles?
Yes.
Yes.
And she had the twisties?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
everybody made a fucking stink about that.
I know, and I was like, good for you.
Good for fucking you.
Good for fucking you taking care of yourself. That's what's important.
I'm not peeing.
Sorry,
I'm getting my
couldn't
wine
remember.
refilled. In case they could hear that. It did sound a little like
It did sound a little bit like
It
peeing.
did sound a little like me.
Yes, her. I'm glad you remembered her name, and
Yeah.
I
Either
feel bad
way.
I forgot. But I'm terrible remembering people's names. I remember,
And she's back
instances and
competing.
stuff.
She made the Olympic team.
Yo, I know. I saw that. Yeah,
Literally
that's awesome.
the
Yeah.
greatest gymnast, male or female, of all time.
So I am so shallow in my knowledge of this, but didn't they outlaw things because she was the only one who could do it?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
It was too fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
she can
they
do it.
said.
Yeah.
But she can do
But
it.
she can do it. Some bullshit. They
That's
do
how
the
good
same thing with ice skating. They do the same thing with women. They say certain things they're not supposed to do, and then you get a woman out there who can do it, and they're like, well, I don't know. Tanya Harding was actually one of those. She was able to do the triple axis or something like
Gosh,
that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was like fucking badass.
All I know about is gluing.
I know.
Sorry.
But the fact
Isn't
was,
that
is she
terrible
was
that's
an
what marred her whole career?
amazingly talented and she was strong. She was a really strong. She was great. She was good on the ice, doing good things. I hope she's living her good life. I feel bad for. I mean, she did some bad things,
You're so funny. I love you.
but I kind of still like her. She was really good. She was really good, and I felt bad for her. I just did. There was a part. I don't know. I just kind of felt bad for her.
That's okay.
So you're allowed to not agree with a person's actions and also feel compassion for them.
That's true.
I think we've forgotten that.
Yes, true.
Not
I can
everybody
do
like
that.
Trump's an asshole, but regardless,
Yeah, no.
Oh no,
but
he's a
you
total. I have no
can,
compassion for that.
Not everyone, but those things can exist at the same time.
True.
You can be.
She made some bad choices.
You can think a person is awful, and then at the same time see I can have compassion for where you came from, but I can 100% disagree with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's kind of we've lost sight too. I just think the world is a shit show. You can.
There's a lot of
Well,
gray. There's a lot of gray. Not a lot of. It's things are not black and white. It's gray.
But I think people are trying
you
to
need to
make
talk
them
about
black and
it.
white, and that's the issue, right?
Well,
I think
that's
been
that
an
is the
issue forever.
problem.
That is something I do try to impart to my students. Let me bring it back.
You're so good. I know you're so good.
I do try
That's
to
why
do,
you're the host.
but I do try to do that with my students. As education tends to be black and white, right answer, wrong answer, and I mean anything from standardized tests to whatever. It's very taking weird answers and weird solutions as well. Maybe I'll give you a little credit for it, kind of, but really not so much. And I've been trying to have my students get more comfortable with not having an answer to something.
Yeah.
That not being able to. I mean, I don't know about you. This might show I'm a little older than you, but when you went through teacher school, did they literally tell you? Because they literally told me, never show a student that you were wrong.
Yeah.
Did they teach you that?
Like,
Oh, you were
never
told that
say
too?
that you don't know.
Right.
But you can always guide them to something, but never say you're not sure.
Yes.
And that I don't
agree with that.
I think
Right,
it's more
yeah.
like, wow, that is quite the question.
Yeah.
And also I think not even giving value to things, right? Not saying that's a good question or what, just like, wow, that is a thoughtful question. You really put some thought into that, or wow, you're really thinking critically about that. Let's take a look. I'm
Let's
not
find
entirely
out.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's
What
find
do
out.
you think? Who do you think? One of the things I learned in my ABAR work was who benefits from this narrative? Who benefits from this perspective? Okay, now let's look at this other perspective.
Oh, I haven't thought of it putting it that way. That's actually,
You know?
that's a good way to put it.
Because, I mean, our history books tell the story of white colonialism. I mean, the 4th of July, we just celebrated in air quotes the 4th of July.
Yeah, some of us don't.
Who is celebrating the 4th
I
of
don't know
July?
anybody who celebrated the 4th, really.
They just want to blow their fingers off.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and again, right? We can have that in existence of, okay, yes, I can be thankful for the rights that I have living in America. I can be thankful for what I have. I can recognize what exists, and I might not have that in other places. And I can also criticize and question and say, who does this benefit? Why are we doing this?
You know where you cannot teach? Geneva, New York. That fucking pit hole of.
Yeah, you can't
I will
teach
fucking
there.
say that now out loud.
Yeah, don't
That's where
don't
I got
teach there.
fired from.
Yeah, don't teach there.
For the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Geneva.
Yeah,
Fuck
fuck
you.
y'all.
Hope you all.
I mean,
slide
Great
into-
Lake, but
Great Lake. I hope you all slide into
There's
it.
some nice things in Geneva. The school system.
Just-
The
yeah,
people running the
just-
school suck.
Well, okay.
The kids are fine.
not
It
not
just-
everybody.
Yeah.
It's just the shitty MAGA people on their school board that
Yeah, well,
found
they're
out about the show and
we're mad.
put me through bizarre shit. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all.
Well,
Anyway.
you did hate it there.
I was doing some okay. No, but one of the things that they brought up in that stupid ass meeting with their lawyer was how I came on the show and I talked about how I quote blew the kids' minds by pointing out that we bought land in the Louisiana Purchase from France that they didn't even own.
thank you. Like this, they need to know that.
Right.
This is not.
Right.
I
We're
wasn't
not
taught that.
lying here.
Right. So
Yeah, I
is
wasn't
not
taught that
fake
when I was a
news.
kid.
Just because it doesn't feel good to you.
I talked about it on the show how that I thought that the kids it blew their minds that day,
Right.
and the lawyer was like, "So what did it mean when you said you blew their mind?" It was
What's
obviously
the
I-
colloquially mean? It means, wow, they were shocked.
I already knew I was gone.
You were,
Yeah,
Again,
yeah, you were gone anyway.
I didn't have tenure, so the union wasn't gonna do anything,
there you go.
and so it's all good. But anyway, now I just go and say fuck Geneva. Where at the time, I never even said the name. Now I'm just like fuck them. Don't fuck them. Just whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So if you're the kids who found this podcast and you're listening, even though the thing at the beginning says if you're not of age, don't listen, and you're
That's
doing
right.
it anyway, because that's what you do with Family Guy and all the other shit we just talked about. Right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
You might be learning something better here.
Well, no, but fine. Just get the fuck out of Geneva as soon as you can. Okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Don't. Oh my God! Do not raise children there, please. Move on.
So anyway, I didn't mean to go there, but
No, that's fine.
okay.
Where we at, Dave?
Well, I do. I don't know. I have
Anything
something
else?
that's more. I can just give a goofy ass update, which I think is a little weird, but it's all politics.
I think. Well, you should give it.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do the goofy ass.
So
pub.
here's
Yeah.
a weird thing that's happening. We've been talking. I need like music.
Like a
Right.
goofy ass update.
Kind of takes away from the seriousness of it. But. So
Man.
if this were Letterman, that'd be all over it. Yeah. So
It's probably about houseless people, and we're
I
gonna feel like
found out-
assholes.
Letterman. Was that Conan O'Brien? Sorry, go ahead.
So, if you're looking for an alternative for the presidential election and New York State, and you're in New York State, the Jill Stein campaign is latching on. This is bizarre, but it's good, and I'll tell you why in a second. They are latching on to a lawsuit with Robert Kennedy Jr.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no. It's a lawsuit. So it's not like they're saying, hey, we agree on all the issues kind of thing.
I know.
But RFK,
I mean, I agree that they should all be on the ballot.
well, RFK has the shitty libertarian money, so he has the money to put this lawsuit in.
Well, he's a Kennedy.
and he put it in, and the Stein campaign and the New York State Green Party had the choice. They could do their own. They could latch on to RFK if RFK folks.
Oh, actually,
want us in.
I actually have to take that back about the Kennedys because the Kennedy family is actually not backing him.
No, they're not.
They've all said no. We're voting for Joe Biden.
Even though they suck too, but whatever.
But they're all voting for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
None of them have said
even they all suck and treat women like shit too. But
Yeah, they
whatever.
are. They're terrible.
So, the Jill Stein campaign in the Green Party of New York State is latching on to the RFK lawsuit, which is good because there'll be money behind it. There is a lawyer who is doing this pro bono, who is an amazing ballot access attorney.
Wow.
And the bad news is because the courts act the way they are, it's probably going to go past November.
I mean,
So,
as it is.
well, so we are gearing up, getting ready until we get a little bit more information, but we're getting ready for a write-in campaign. And write-in campaigns suck, but if you remember what we talked about in New York State, getting Jill Stein 130,000 votes in New York State.
Yeah, it's like 130 will be very easy.
130,000 in New York State should give us ballot status back, which means when somebody in this room runs for city council next year, it will make their campaign much easier. So,
We love that.
Jill Stein, we're just a write-in, is never going to win. Yes, I understand, but because of the way the shitty laws are in New York, it will help candidates run for local office. So,
And I will say, and only because I'm 100 and 1,000% terrified of that other person becoming president, I can understand why some people in certain places would want to vote for Biden. But I will say in New York State, I think we're going to vote for Biden.
well, let's talk.
We're
Let's talk
gonna
about that down the road because
Yeah.
we're almost out of time.
Yeah, I just think
It's definitely something I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
'Cause
I just feel pretty confident that 130,000 people will still, even if they got that, even if she did get that, I don't think that's going to take away from Biden
in New York State,
in New York State
because of the Electoral College.
because Electoral
Yeah.
College.
But let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
And
down
New
the
York
road.
City.
Yeah. Because who knows? Because
New York City alone will get Biden in.
and
That's the thing.
in New
If you
York
look
State.
at the map in New York State, if you look at the voting map, it's blue around all the major cities. It's just
yeah,
red. I mean,
Red
that's
is a
so
smaller place.
common.
if you drive around the
Oh my gosh.
yeah, they still have repeal the SAFE Act.
I know. Well,
Right.
there's
Signs.
actually, there's somebody
That-
right up the
sorry,
street
that's
from us.
That's a New York State thing.
There's
Sorry.
somebody right up the street
I
from
know
us
the
that
guy.
has
I've
it.
been to his house. I know who he is.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Frightening.
Well, I go
We'll talk-
door to door. That's
I
what
know.
I
Listen,
do.
he
talk
goes
about it.
everywhere. You can't stop this man.
Yeah, can't
He
stop
ain't
him.
scared.
He's
Well, okay.
Sometimes you're scared, I bet.
Well, I'm not going to Genesee Street at 3 a.m.
Listen,
That's
I'm
a
you're
smart
crazy.
idea.
I'm not
foolish.
stupid.
That's right.
Right. I'm crazy. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But I have knocked on those doors during the day.
Well, I mean, during the day is
done
a
that.
whole
Yeah.
different thing.
I've been to almost. I'm not going to say every. I have been to at least 75% of every street in this city at one point or another, knocking on doors, and all the times I've been doing this, and it's about to pick up another 2 weeks. I'll be doing it again. So, just deciding where to go, where to start with. So anyway, we'll be talking about that down the road, but you should really check out all the candidates. Actually, you know what? We got to get these guys back on. It's been years. We go to isidewith.com.
Oh, yes.
We had them on the show like 150 years ago. I keep forgetting how long we've
I
been
remember
doing this.
them. I tried that a couple of times when I was younger.
Yeah. And
Big shocker. I'm pretty liberal.
it is,
Pretty
but-
much every single time go with whoever is the most liberal person on the ballot. So
Yeah, but it's-
I know damn well. No, I know if I do it, probably going to be Jill Stein.
Yeah, and
'Cause
the
it's happened before.
The funny thing is, did I say this
I
before?
know.
We did this in one of my classes like 2 months ago, and like in my second place, tied with something, was actually Marianne Williamson. I was like, really?
Oh, you know what? That was on one of my. That was
Really?
yeah. I
it
know what
was
you're talking
really
about.
high up there. You
I
were still
forgot
like-
about
Marianne
that.
Williamson?
Yeah, Special K. You're looking. She was running in the quote primaries. Of
She's an
Democrat.
author.
She dropped out pretty. She was an author. And she says some
She
really
read-
good
she,
stuff, but then
she-
she gets kind of weird.
She writes relationship books, like
But
books
she
on
gets kinda out
self-help.
there.
I like
like-
that weird shit.
It's all right. Then maybe you would have dug her then.
Well, she
Maybe you'd
says
like
good
her.
stuff like about no wars, but then she takes it to a place like, okay, you didn't really, you just could have pulled it back a little bit.
I'm gonna go. I'm
going you should on totally there after check her
the
out.
show.
Oh, yeah,
Going
yeah.
on there after the show.
Yeah. So I side with .com, and you know what? Let me write that down. I'm going to reach out to those guys. They might be too busy these days. They might be too big of a deal.
They're probably busy right now, but maybe.
Well,
They
no,
could
they
spare
just
an
might be
hour.
bigger.
An hour.
No, I know, but I mean, you know, who are
Shoot your
we?
shot, baby.
Oh,
We're not important
dude.
anymore.
Oh, and an
Billy
update.
Bragg didn't wanna be
Billy
on.
Bragg is still not coming on our show.
Neither is
Henry
Henry Rollins, as far as we know.
Henry Rollins told us specifically, but
No. Well, the manager
but
did.
I've heard nothing from Billy Bragg. I'm still going to try because he's going to be in Rochester in October.
Well, there you go.
So I reached out to his management over in the UK, and I've just got crickets. So I just keep saying, Billy Bragg's not coming on the show. Like, he fucking knows who we are. He has no clue.
Oh my god.
He's somewhere right now eating a sandwich going, huh? Who?
The Psychedelic Furs and the Jesus and Mary chain are going to be here in October. Dan and I are going. We're really excited. Maybe we can get them on the show. You're like, I don't even fucking know these bands.
Okay, we've talked about this.
Fun.
I do, but what am I going to talk to them about?
Cool things.
Hey, remember that time you played at Live Aid? It was awesome.
Wow.
You wanted to be Chris Farley? What are we supposed to do? Remember the time you were in the
Wow.
Beatles? You were on. That was awesome.
That was
What do you want me to
Like,
say?
I don't think Psychedelic Furs were at Live Aid.
No, dude. Okay, who's in the Psychedelic Furs? Am I thinking of the
Richard
wrong
Butler.
guys?
Richard Butler is
I'm thinking of the
lead
wrong
singer.
guys then.
Yeah.
Psychedelic Furs.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't think they performed. I actually watched Live Aid.
Shit, I'm mixing up my bands. Who the fuck was Geldof in?
Boomtown Rats.
Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know
Sorry, my
that.
bad. All right. So now I really don't know shit. Now I really have nothing to talk about.
He probably knows.
I mean, if I got Bob Geldof, at least I can ask, was Phil Collins that bad with Led Zeppelin? At least I can ask that.
Put a fork in it. We're done.
I got nothing else. All right. Well, we are over now.
All right, we're done now.
All right.
All right, thanks, Dave.
I didn't realize that was going to end it. All right.
That was it.
Everyone keeps saying he was horrible. I just thought, okay, whatever. All right, we'll be back next week. We'll learn us
With
what.
something.
I don't know, something and whatever. And
Thanks, Special K, for being here again.
Plant a tree.
Plant a tree.
okay,
Plant a tree.
You know,
Watch it through. Plant a tree.
babysitter line. You are anytime.
We love it. It's
All right.
so fun. I love it.
All right, we'll be back next week with whatever.
With something.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Have you ever come home and smelled nothing?
It doesn't smell like anything in here.
That's why you need the finest assortment of scent enhancers from Dank Fog Industries. We'll have your house smelling like something in no time.
Is that unicorn jizz?
It sure is. And that's not all. We have pine tree dingleberries, rainbow skank, and our newest scent.
Horny wet dog.
Oh yeah, and all of the Dank Fog diffusers have computer chips made with lithium dug out by little kids in the Congo, so you know it's gonna last.
What is that scent?
Our most popular diffuser, Grease Trap Bouquet. Get all the scents from Dank Fog Industries because you can't just leave well enough alone.